Hey everyone, this is Mike, and this is my journal entry for the third plate, chapters 28 through Epilogue. Something that really stood out to me was in chapter 29, uh, the epiphany about how it's possible to go to the ends of the earth to recover a lost seed and restore its history, work it into fertile soils, harvest it at the perfect hour. But if a chef cranks up the heat too high during a busy lunch service, it's game over. Uh, I've worked as a cook for many years at multiple restaurants, and I can attest to how much food gets wasted by cooks and at the restaurant in general. From when we're bringing food in for delivery, sometimes food comes in expired and has to immediately hit the trash can. Sometimes, if the person before me who did the food order or put food away didn't FIFO it, some of the produce that is only good for a couple days has gone bad and entire cases need to be thrown out. When we're prepping the food to make it easier for the cooks to cook with it, a lot of food gets wasted and tossed in the trash. Cooks are cooking for speed, they're cooking for plates going out the window. At the end of the shift, the floor is covered in food, and it's not a very efficient process. We sweep it all up, throw it away. Servers ring food in wrong all the time, and we're not allowed to sell that food. They call it dead food, and we can't sell it to anyone. It goes right in the trash. And even if everything goes right, the food's good when it gets to the store. We've stored it right. We've cooked it right. They ordered it right with the servers, and it gets out to the table fresh. The table may nibble on it, and then three-quarters of it goes in the trash anyway. So as we're looking to make better food, higher quality food, better tasting food, more nutritious food, I think there's an opportunity for us to inspect and maybe change our culture and attitudes towards the food we have and how wasteful we are with it before we start working on making higher quality food. Maybe we should work on preserving the food we have within our current system. Uh, a second thing that jumped out to me was the epilogue: never stop innovating, more lab work, more selection. The scientist in me wants everyone to go out and do land varieties, everything, one giant experiment. But biological science happens on the fly, and our food systems have to feed a lot of people every day. So I like the compromise between land race varieties and big old monocultures, the uniform but more regionally distinct varieties from land grant colleges. I think that's a perfect happy medium. Uh, and I thought it was really cool that Blue Hill Farms has a cross of blue wheat using a local strain. That collaboration with Steve Jones was a huge success and seemed worth the several-year wait. Uh, as far as the supplemental readings, Chapter 4 and 6 of the food policy were excellent as always, but I just quickly want to go over the PVS Nova blockchain article. Our group was struggling for policy recommendations for tracking food miles, and we came up with QR codes, but had we had this article, I think this blockchain would have absolutely been in our policy recommendation. It clarifies opaque terms like grass-fed, organic, and all-natural, restoring trust in those marketing terms, because I know that I don't have a lot of trust in those terms anymore. Food safety, tracking outbreaks, and industry standards, those are always great things. Cost and profit transparency. We saw that in previous modules that farmers really were not the ones profiting from their food. It was people later on in the distribution. So some transparency to find out who's making what from the system and where the inefficiencies are and where the weak links in the chain are. That's all great. I do worry about overburdening small businesses with regulations, so I definitely think that the federal government, when we make policies that are barriers to entry to an industry, we should also make complementary policies that help small and new businesses overcome those barriers so we don't end up with these giant monopolies like we're currently struggling with. But I thought blockchain was a phenomenal policy. That's all the time I have. I've really enjoyed this class with you all. I look forward to taking future classes with you in my last semester here. Bye.